Hello, good afternoon and welcome to News at 1 Live on Metro TV. We are transmitting to you from our studios here in Laboni, Accra. I am Kwasi, Afriyie. Let's have a look at the top stories for this afternoon. No signs of flooding yet in communities downstream the Weija Dam as Ghana Water Company continues to spill excess water. Editor-in-chief of New Crusading Guide challenges Amidu to provide his claims or shut up. Societe Generale, one of Ghana's leading banks, launches final countdown promo to reward loyal customers. A Nigerian president inaugurates long-awaited cabinet. Well, so those were the headlines. Let's get into the details of the bulletin now. From the Ashanti region, the Kwasi Bridge in the Kumasi metropolis is expected to be open to traffic on the 20th of November 2015 to end the heavy congestion its closure has brought to the metropolis. Beatrice Spiugabra has more.
The Kwasi Wood Bridge was constructed by the Building and Road Research Institute over 30 decades ago. The bridge, which connects Kwasi to Ahensai, Edum and other parts of the metropolis, had not seen any major rehabilitation works until it started showing signs of weakness and cracks due to the heavy trucks that ply the bridge. The Metro Urban Roads Directorate closed the bridge to traffic early this year with the assurance of completing rehabilitation works within 3 months. However, the expected completion time was delayed, causing heavy traffic in the metropolis. At a recent visit to Kumasi, the Asantehene appealed to the president to intervene for the early completion of the bridge, especially as Christmas approaches, in order not to compound the already heavy traffic in the central business district. The Kumasi Metro Urban Roads Director, Nana Tapoku, disclosed the bridge will be open to traffic in November.
We would want to do other remedial works to the being carried by Mrs. Atachi. Yes, that's the asphalt overlay. So once BRI finishes, the road component is being done by Atachi, and they've assured us that between the 15th and 20th they should be finished and this road will be open to traffic.
The KMA boss who was taking around the project expressed his delight the rehabilitation project will soon be over.
But I was so happy when they said by 20th of November the bridge will be ready. On the 19th I'll definitely go there to go and see if the bridge will be ready, because the traffic is too much and people of Kumasi are really suffering.
He also inspected progress of work on the Aswasi and Atonsu Agogo markets, financed under a €40 million Ghana Urban Management Pilot Project, and was grateful to the traders for their cooperation during the relocation exercise.
Well, let's now come back into the Greater Accra region, and so far, no disaster and no sign of danger as the Ghana Water Company continues its controlled spillage of excess water in the Weija Dam. The exercise, which began yesterday, is expected to affect some low-lying areas at Tetegu, Oblogu, Pambro Salt, Ada Kope, and nearby communities. The Ghana Water Company Limited has advised residents in areas likely to be affected to relocate, and it's collaborating with NADMO and national security operatives to ensure they comply. Stanley Mate is the Director of Communications of the Ghana Water Company Limited.
We have been monitoring the system since we started spilling 12 o'clock on Wednesday. So as of this morning, everything is fine. We haven't had anything untoward. We have been moving along the tributaries of the river to find out whether there's been any eventuality. Fortunately, Unfortunately, we haven't had any of such information, so everything is fine. Currently, as I speak, we have opened 3 spill gates, and this morning we realized that the levels are still same. So we want to increase the height of the gate so that we can have more water spill out. I'll use this opportunity again to let the people beyond the dam to make them aware that we are going to spill more water, and it will be best if they evacuate the area to forestall any eventuality. We have done everything that we have to so that there will be smooth flow, but it is best for us to avoid any eventuality done to try to solve it when it so happens. So we will urge everybody. We are monitoring the situation. We know everything is under control, but we have to take precautionary measures, and that is why we want everybody to understand what we are doing. NADMO and National Security are also supporting us in this situation, and so we appreciate whatever they are doing, and we also wish that everybody will cooperate so that we're going to have a fruitful exercise till the spilling ends. We can't actually tell when the spilling will end. It depends on the inflows into the dam. If the inflows reduce, then we may have to stop with the dam. But if there are more inflows, then we still have to continue spilling. So there isn't any definite date for us to stop the spilling. And everything that we have to do to forestall eventuality must be done. All hands must be on deck. Those living along the area must be responsible and play the role expected of them. The Ghana Water Company Limited, the Municipal Assembly, the National Security, and NADMO are also playing our role. We are also playing our roles effectively to make sure that there isn't any eventuality.
And we do actually pray there will be no disaster till the end of the spillage. And now, away from that, the Member of Parliament for Sojaman says Ghanaians should not be quick to dismiss the claims made by former Attorney General Martin Amidu, alleging that Tiger IPI and Anas, Aremia Anas, received support in its judicial corruption expose. According to Kofi Osei-Ameyao, the situation, if true, raises an affront to the principles of separation of powers.
Our constitutional arrangements is based on the doctrine of separation of powers, that each arm of government is independent of each other so that we can have the checks and balances, so that one cannot have powers over and above the other. Now, if indeed what Martin Amidu is saying happened, then it would appear that the executive arm of government wants to arrogate to itself more powers than the Constitution gives them. When they say we have so many ways of killing a cat or skinning a cat, right? What does that mean? It means that if the judges will not do what we ask them to do, we would tell them what to do. And so if we have this corruption allegation and expose, and it is all, we don't even know the extent, it is all has not come out. So some are being hidden. So is that to say to the judges that if you don't behave in a certain manner, then we would expose you? I mean, how can we carry on in a country like this? Why don't you want to investigate and call people under oath to come and give evidence to see what the denial is not under oath? Is it under oath? It's not. So you can deny. But when you are brought and you are sworn to say the truth, and if you don't, you can be punished, then we will be able to decipher from the truth and false. It is important that we investigate what happened at that time, and let us discredit Martin Amidu through that investigation. But you people just seem to want to dismiss it outright without any due process. Why? If it is true, of course, that would shatter the whole separation of powers doctrine that our system that holds our system, the checks and balances. So nobody will have confidence in the judiciary, no one will have confidence in the legislature, or everything goes to the executive. So the oversight responsibility of Parliament will be taken out.
Well, so Kofi Osei-Ameyao says the case should be investigated. But the editor-in-chief of the New Crusading Guide, Newspaper, Kwaku Baako Jr. is challenging Martin Amidu to provide his claims or shut up.
Surveys, all those things are okay. Our concern is on the Anas Tiger Eye thing. And you realize that that's what the media has picked up. So legitimately, I'm focused on those areas. And so let's go step by step what he's put out there. Randy, the substantive allegations that he has made, and I have insisted that that's what we should focus on.
Yeah.
He's brought in some red herrings.
Yeah.
He's created a forest of issues, which if you are not careful will hide the trees of allegations. And I'm not interested in getting diverted. So we'll remain focused on the substantive issues, some of which you narrated a few moments ago. Let's go one by one. He says government commissioned the judicial corruption exercise project. He says in doing so, government also commissioned a similar thing on the legislature. Okay? And then he talks about the fact that government itself has watched both projects and proceeded to exclude the legislative one from public scrutiny, and is using the judicial one in order to cover up.
Even the judicial one is selective.
Yes. So these are the substantive things he's made that government did. Now, what is his evidence? The first one, he didn't produce evidence. He gave some footnotes. And you recall that when Tiger Eye responded, he made a point that any intellectually minded person would have taken note of the footnote, number 16, and that there was a hint of his evidence there. We saw it, but decided to ignore it because we knew that that is what he was claiming to be his evidence, and that sooner than later he will make it public. We didn't want to preempt him. We wanted him to make that public so that we can all interrogate the evidence in substance rather than dealing with a footnote. Now, he eventually came back to the second one. And if you recall, the second one, predictably, he brought that purported evidence. And Randy, that purported evidence is this. Is this August 9th, 2012, General News. He sourced his to Peace FM Online. That's
his evidence?
Yes. But in actual fact, the originating source is the New Crusading Guide Online. And it's an Anas tribute to the late Professor Mills. And the title is Professor Mills personally assigned me to unearth corrupt deals. Anas Arimea Anas. Now, my very good friend and comrade, Martin Amidu, picks certain portions from here. Now, he's made it as follows. Quote, in an exclusive interview, Anas confirmed that Professor Mills personally assigned him to unearth the corrupt deals at the ECG. It was something that he, Mills, really wanted and asked me to do, he disclosed. The report continued. The highly rated undercover journalist has hinted of another big expose of his ongoing investigations soon to hit the country, which he noted was the last wish of the president. Emphasis supplied, the last wish of the president. According to Martin, because he was in government in 2009, 2010, 2012, 2011 until 2012, and because of that weird contest that he's created about government versus judiciary relative to cases that went to court and government lost, and that there was a discussion as to how to kill the cat, quote unquote. The last wish of the president, of President Mills, that Anas referred to here, according to Martin, he makes a deduction, a conjecture, speculation, that it is the judicial corruption saga.
The former Attorney General of the Republic of Ghana.
Yes. Meanwhile, Randy, the evidence is this, the proof that he is not right is simple. You recall the Anas project, Soul Takers?
Yes.
I'm sure your people have it.
Yes.
I have the video clip here.
Yes.
When Anas did the port thing, the customs thing, President Mills went there, had a gathering. And in the course of that gathering, President Mills made a statement to the point that, look, your colleagues at DVLA should not think we are not looking at them, and that soon we will descend on them. It's here, it's on the tape. So if you look at the Soul Takers, which was done in 2014, it began 2013. I mean, after that, President made that statement. He called Anas and said, can you do a project on DVLE? That is what Anas was referring to. That the president did not leave to see the realization of his last wish. That it pained him, Anas, because Anas was working on that project.
And there's evidence that Professor Mills mentioned DVLE.
Yes, it's on the video. It's here.
Yes.
And so Anas's documentary on Soul Takers, he brings in, he does introductory things. So Ajekum Kufuor Foundation gave them some support. It's there. I didn't even know that they had some interaction with even former President Rawlings, or let's say President Rawlings. He's also on the tape. And then President Mills is brought in, making that point about DVLE. So the truth is that my good friend Martin lost the plot. He desperately, strenuously sought to make a connection between whatever he might have heard in government or taking discussions that he may have taken part in. I'm not about to challenge that because I wasn't in government. I haven't been in government with him.
He says
it's up to him to provide either a memo, correspondence, or anything. I don't know about oath of secrecy, but since he's pushing, he might be compelled eventually to give something of evidential value to back his case. But he's completely off the mark. What was being alluded to by Anas is the Soul Takers. And indeed, there is a proof even in that documentary, which Anas put out in April 2014.
And you can only find it here on Metro TV. More stories coming up. Please don't go away. You're welcome back from the break. Let's do some more stories now. And Chairman of the Governing Board of the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, Dr. Emmanuel Annan, has told Metro News in an exclusive interview that the Commission will consider the interest of Ghanaians before taking any decision on the request by utility distributor ECG for an increase in tariff. He spoke to Metro News reporter Frank Nyananto at a meeting where ECG boss had been summoned to justify why they need an increase in their tariffs.
This is part of the major tariff review process that we started a few months ago. Today we are meeting with ECG and NEDCO. That gives us a better opportunity to ask detailed questions and for them to be able to give us any kind of answers, any details that they may not have given to us previously. And each member is free to ask the questions that allow them to subsequently be able to make a decision.
My other question has to do with the fact that at a point I saw that the ECG boss was struggling a bit to answer some of the questions. As the chairman of the commission, I know you may not pronounce your verdict anyways, but it seems as if you are not convinced.
Well, we are this is a hearing, and the nature of hearings is that probing questions will be asked. And so if certain types of questions are asked and he shifts a bit in his chair and so on, I think that's normal. It comes with the terrain. If the situation were reversed, I probably would also shift a bit in my chair. But as at now, we as a commission have not made any decision as to whether whatever presentations have been made have fully satisfied us. And we will continue to bring them and keep on asking them questions. We would write to them for clarifications until we are very clear.
I know this will seem a bit premature, but would we see an increment? Would we see a certain level of increment? Would we see that?
If we are looking at the variables that guide the power sector, it would seem as if that would be the direction. But like we've done before in the past, we have announced increases which we had deferred, which we did not actually pass on. So I am not able at this time to say, yes, we would increase and actually pass on. This, I cannot say at this time.
It's time for Business Now, and one of Ghana's leading banks, Societe Generale, has launched the final countdown promo to reward loyal customers. All they must do is to deposit a minimum of 200 Ghana cedis between now and the 22nd of January 2015. They must also keep the account active till the 22nd of February.
The promotion, dubbed Final Countdown, is to reward loyal customers, inspire the culture of savings, and also encourage potential customers to do business with the bank. Customers have the chance of multiplying their deposits by 4, 3, or 2 folds and win lots of fantastic prizes, besides the numerous products the bank offers.
Put the excitement back into saving and beat the clock with the Societe Generale Ghana Final Countdown Deposit and Win promotion. We believe in working together to ensure your ultimate satisfaction. We sincerely hope that as you count down with the season, you will truly have a satisfied feeling of what banking by excellence means to us at Societe Generale Ghana.
To take part in this promotion, new and existing customers must make fresh or new cash deposits, check deposits, or transfers. They must deposit a minimum of 200 Ghana cedis between now and 22nd January 2015 and keep the account until 22nd February 2015. The reward packages are worth over 300,000, and these include Samsung Galaxy phones, Samsung 40-inch LED television sets, Samsung Tab 4, and shopping vouchers worth 500 cedis from the game supermarket.
The rationale for developing this promotion is to foster the habit of savings in all our customers and potential customers as well. And we wanted to add a fun element to this encouragement of saving. We are engaging customers and making them deposit to make it more exciting. With each deposit, the customer has to fill in the final countdown form, confirm their choice to participate in the promotion. The deposit must then be held for at least a month from the day it was deposited.
The mini draw will be held on the 23rd December 2015. The final draw is scheduled to take place 3rd March 2016, where 10 winners will have their deposits quadrupled, tripled, or doubled up to 30,000 cedis, depending on when they deposit.
You're still live on Metro News at 1. We have more stories still coming up. Please stay with us. You're welcome back. On the international front, Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari has sworn in 36 ministers into his cabinet 5 months after his inauguration. The long-awaited cabinet is smaller than that of his predecessor, Goodluck Jonathan, who had 46 ministers.
Who took office on May 29th, won a general election in March after vowing to crack down on corruption in Africa's biggest economy and top oil producer. He has been criticized for taking until September to name his ministers at a time when the economy has been severely hit by the fall in oil prices. Under the Constitution, the president must include a member from each of the country's 36 states. Buhari, 72, appointed former investment banker Kemi Adeosun as finance minister. He also named Emmanuel Ibikachuku, head of the state oil firm Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation, as a junior oil minister, though the president said he would retain overall control of the powerful petroleum ministry. Buhari called on the newly sworn-in ministers to focus on tackling the many challenges Nigeria currently faces.
Well, thank you very much for spending the past 30 minutes with us. I am Kwasi Afriyie. Keep watching Metro TV.